Hello, I'm Kim Lippert. Welcome to the 2010 Year in Review, a brief focus on the Oregon National Guard. This year will take you halfway across the world to see Oregon Guard members defending our freedom and return to visit the projects and programs adding value to our communities here at home. Here are the remarkable achievements of your Oregon National Guard in 2010. In January, nearly 120 Oregon soldiers returned home from a year-long deployment to Iraq. Charlie Company 7th Battalion 158th Aviation Regiment was stationed at Balad Air Base. The unit's mission was to support medevac operations. Oregon's Black Hawk team conducted 375 life-saving missions, transported more than 800 patients, and flew more than 3,000 flight hours throughout central and northern Iraq. In March, more than 3,000 Oregon soldiers from the 41st Infantry Brigade Combat Team returned home from Iraq to a hero's welcome after completing the state's largest deployment since World War II. Homecomings like this happen throughout the year as Oregon National Guard soldiers reunite with their families. It's a moment cherished by all.
The determination and commitment of the 41st Infantry Brigade are reminders of what makes us so proud to be Oregonians. On behalf of a grateful state and nation, thank you for your service.
The task force trained at Camp Roberts, California, and finished at Fort Stewart, Georgia. Soldiers perfected many skills during their 2-month stay at Fort Stewart, including base defense and convoy security. The same mission soldiers would conduct once they crossed the berm into Iraq. During their 10 months in country, the brigade escorted convoys more than 6.5 million miles and conducted thousands of missions. In addition to convoy and base security, other missions focused on civilian issues such as education, health, and rebuilding infrastructure. Oregon soldiers also helped deliver school supplies, shoes, and clothing to Iraqi children.
Been nothing but impressed with the organization. They came in well prepared, trained, and excited about the mission, and they've done a fantastic job. I really hate to see them leave.
As Oregon soldiers helped to protect the ground and skies of Iraq, they were also selected to do the same in Afghanistan. Nearly 110 Oregon soldiers with the 162nd Engineer Company, 1249th Engineer Battalion, mobilized to conduct route clearance. During their deployment, the soldiers covered 25,000 kilometers of road and encountered 200 IED events, a mission which is essential to rebuilding the country and ultimately saving lives. Also deploying to Afghanistan this year was Detachment 1 Bravo Company 168th Aviation with more than 70 soldiers. The CH-47 Chinook helicopter unit based in Pendleton has the mission of transporting equipment and personnel to remote areas of Afghanistan where most roads are virtually impassable. Approximately 600 soldiers with the 3 of the 116th Cavalry Battalion from Eastern Oregon were deployed to Iraq in September. The unit first started their training at Gowan Field, Idaho, then finished up at Camp Shelby, Mississippi. This task force will be conducting this same convoy security mission that the 41st conducted in Iraq, now under Operation New Dawn. It was a busy year for the Oregon Air National Guard as well. Early in the year, 4 airmen from the 123rd Weather Flight, along with a chaplain from the 173rd Fighter Wing, headed to Haiti following the devastating earthquake there. Once in country, the airmen established communications and assisted with recovery efforts through their work with the international community. For the Oregon Air Guard's premier strike fighter, the F-15 Eagle, and its pilots and crew, 2 noteworthy scrambles proved once again the value of our airmen and wings in national security and vigilance over the Pacific Northwest. In one instance, F-15 jets escorted a Hawaiian Airlines jet with an unruly passenger aboard back to the Portland International Airport. Another occasion required supersonic speed to get our F-15s in the air after an alert went out to protect the president who was visiting the Seattle area. The Air Guard's value to Oregon is not limited to protecting our skies. This last summer, several airmen committed over 500 hours of community service helping to construct the Jeff Lucas Memorial Stadium, named after the former Corbett High School alum and Navy SEAL who was killed in action in Afghanistan in 2005. In July, members of the 142nd Fighter Wings Medical Group participated in Patriot 10, a joint force multinational exercise at Volk Field, Wisconsin. Oregon's airmen joined over 1,000 medical personnel from across the nation and representatives from the Netherlands and Canada to train in weapons of mass destruction and domestic emergency response scenarios. In October, 130 airmen from the 142nd Fighter Wing accompanied 6 F-15 aircraft to the United Arab Emirates to participate in the Iron Falcon exercise. The overseas training tour is designed to bring together Gulf Cooperation Council nations and other countries to strengthen military-to-military relations, promote regional security, and improve combined tactical air operations. With so many Oregon Guard members returning from deployments, Oregon National Guard leadership determined there was a need for a more robust transition program. Working closely with legislative leaders like Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley, the Oregon National Guard launched 2 new initiatives, a 90-day yellow ribbon program and a comprehensive website called fortoregon.com. Both resources are designed to help soldiers and airmen with their post-deployment transition.
You know, Oregon has a tremendous reintegration team. In fact, the model that has been developed here is becoming an example for the entire nation. My congratulations to everyone who's been involved.
The Yellow Ribbon events give soldiers and airmen direct access to potential employers, counselors, education benefits, and other resources to help them reintegrate back home. While Oregon soldiers and airmen participated in several overseas deployments, back here at home, Charlie Company 7158 Aviation conducted more than 27 aerial search and rescue missions. 2 of the higher profile missions involved search efforts for 3 missing climbers on Mount Hood in late December, and participation in the search for a missing 9-year-old boy, Kyron Horman. 2010 was a historic year for domestic emergency response for our state. Oregon, along with several other states, was selected to ramp up its ability to support local first responders during natural or man-made disasters. Through the Department of Defense plan for an enhanced response force package, the Oregon National Guard improved its ability to assist community fire and police agencies when dealing with dangerous materials such as chemical or biological weapons. Oregon National Guard support for youth programs was strong again in 2010. The state's nationally recognized Youth Challenge program, located in Central Oregon, graduated 253 cadets. The Starship program, held at the state's 2 fighter wings, continued to enhance science and technology education for elementary school students, and the annual summer camp known as Camp Rosenbaum celebrated its 40th year of helping at-risk youth from Oregon and Southwest Washington. The Oregon Guard added value to local communities in other not-so-obvious ways. In its continued commitment to local law enforcement, the Oregon National Guard's Counter-Drug Support Program assisted local authorities in 1,041 cases, resulting in over $440 million of illegal narcotics seized by federal, state, and local law enforcement. The counter-drug team also visited 10 middle schools throughout Oregon, reaching more than 2,000 students through their drug demand reduction program and providing mentorship training to 121 young adults. From local partnerships to international influence, the Oregon National Guard is making a difference around the world. Early this year, the Oregon National Guard hosted their Bangladeshi partners during a state partnership program workshop in March here in Portland. Then in August, the Oregon team headed to Bangladesh as part of the program's ongoing mission to help develop the country's economic and educational future and to continue its collaboration on military and civilian support during natural disaster response. For the first time ever, 3 of Oregon's high-profile military competitions happened in the same weekend.
I look forward to this weekend above all weekends. This is the best of the best. These are our best warriors.
The Adjutant General's Match, a joint Army-Air Force marksmanship contest, the State Army Combatives Tournament, and the Best Warrior competition all took place simultaneously at Camp Rylea on Oregon's north coast. Sergeant Robert Krause, who won the NCO portion of the Best Warrior competition, continued on to win the regional NCO of the Year competition at Fort Richardson, Alaska, and moved on to the national contest at Fort Benning, Georgia in August. 2010 was the year of the Logistician, culminating in a nationwide workshop held in Portland in August. The conference focused on total asset visibility.
The uniqueness of this workshop is this is the first time that we've been able to demonstrate across 5 states tracking of vehicles near and real time. We shared that data with local and federal authorities. The benefit of this is that any emergency now that happens, natural disaster, we can better effectively communicate and manage that disaster.
One of the Guard's main missions is to respond quickly to emergencies. This year, 3 new facilities will enhance the Guard's ability to respond quickly and effectively. In August, officials dedicated the Charles Leary Diebert Operations Facility in Salem. The 39,000 square foot building was named after Charles Leary Diebert, who distinguished himself during the Vietnam War through heroic actions. The new building, which utilizes green technology and sustainable building materials, will provide a state-of-the-art operations center for the 102nd Civil Support Team and a hub for multiple aviation units. Also in August, the doors of a new high-tech armory opened in Ontario, home to the 3 to the 116 Cavalry. The 36,000 square foot facility boasts a green design, which meets or exceeds new federal energy laws. Another major milestone occurred in September for Oregon's infrastructure. Dignitaries dedicated the 162 Infantry Regiment Readiness Center in Springfield. This 156,000 square foot state-of-the-art green facility will serve as a model of multi-unit cooperation. The facility will not only house the National Guard, but also the U.S. Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management, and units from the Navy and Marine Reserve as well. These armories will serve as an important part of the local community and serve as models of environmental sustainability and responsible stewardship. This year, not all armory upgrades involve new construction. Refitting aging armories saved Oregon taxpayers millions of dollars. Both the St. Helens and Gresham armories received upgrades of energy-efficient windows and doors, insulation, and heating and cooling systems. The retrofit added another 25 years of useful life to these facilities. The added space and classrooms will benefit both Oregon soldiers and the surrounding communities. At the same time, major infrastructure changes are moving ahead for the Oregon National Guard. Construction on a $75 million building at Camp Withicum continues successfully. The facility will house 900 Guard members and be shared with other military services and the local community. The building is scheduled to open next summer. As 2010 came to a close, so did the tenure of the Oregon National Guard's Commander-in-Chief. But before Governor Kulongoski completed his second and final term as governor, the Oregon National Guard honored him with the Order of the Minuteman Award. At a formal ceremony in Portland, hundreds of Oregon's citizen soldiers and citizen airmen turned out to recognize their Commander-in-Chief for his exemplary standards and leadership. In 2010, the Oregon National Guard led the way by completing all missions, proving once again that this dual mission force is the most cost-effective way of providing stability abroad and creating progress and innovation at home.